All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is another episode of the Buzz About East Brunswick.
We're back.
Yes, we are. I'm Greg T. This is Mayor Cohen for episode 17. If you guys are watching us on YouTube, hello, everybody at home on the YouTube.
17.
Episode 17, we did it. We did it.
That's cool.
Yeah, not bad. We're on YouTube at EBTV26. You can follow us on Instagram, of course, at Buzz About EB. We'd like to, cut up a couple of clips from the podcast, and we'll post it throughout the week. And if you're there on Spotify, iHeart, Apple Music, or Amazon, well, hello to each and every one of you guys as well. Yeah. So episode 17, what's it feel like?
I don't know. We're like veterans at it now.
Pretty good. Not bad. Not bad. We got a couple of things to talk about, plus another live podcast. We'll be out and about. We'll talk to you all about that, tell you where you're going to find us. But first and foremost, so what's going on? How was your weekend?
Weekend was busy. It was another good weekend, though.
I like that you're posting things all over Instagram. Sometimes I find out, I'm like, oh, he went and did that on Instagram. I don't know what you're doing, and then I see you at certain
I'm getting
things.
a little better at that. Sometimes I haven't figured out how to get the music to last a little longer to finish the pictures. I'll figure that out.
All right, so you're working on all that. That's good. You're doing your own digital editing. That's great. So, what are some of your highlights? I mean, from what I saw, you were at Drool in the Pool.
But I didn't get to go to that. I know it was this weekend, but I had a family event that I couldn't get to. But that did take place this weekend. It was rescheduled from before when it rained out.
Yeah, I think it's really clever that Crystal Springs opens it up to the dogs. I think that's kind of nice in the way they do it. They have
the world's gone to the dogs.
The world has gone to the dogs, but they don't just it's not like you can just throw your dog in there. They have actually times for small, medium, large dogs, which is great. And I think look, they're closing the pool down anyway.
Exactly, the water's going to be drained anyway, so it's not a big deal. And we've got a big town here, and it's funny, even during election time when you knock on doors, I can't begin to tell you the number of people that have dogs in town. I frankly think that if I went around with just dog biscuits, I could probably get everybody to vote for me.
Everybody would love you. That's right, the dogs, everybody would love you. Yeah. Also, you were at a cricket, was it a cricket tournament over the weekend at Bicentennial?
Yeah, the Dowdy Bora Mosque on Dunham's Corner Road had a tournament that they were holding, and it was at Bicentennial. I live not far from there, and so I got invited over to say hello and to meet everybody that was there. And most of them are from in town, a couple people from out of town, but it was kind of fun to watch them play and utilize the fields. I know people have said, "Oh, why are you doing cricket?" But it's one of the fastest growing sports.
Yeah.
And even having opened up the one at Heavenly Farms, the reason that they couldn't use it is because that's already fully booked.
Well, it's funny that you say that is, but so I live in the town of Marlborough, right, a couple towns over, and I was teaching my daughter how to drive, and I was at a local grammar school. It was over the weekend, there was nobody there, empty parking lots, so I was teaching her how to drive, and I saw these guys pulling up in a next parking lot over, and they were all getting out with their cricket rackets. They were getting ready to play.
Right.
So I'm thinking, should I go tell them? I'm not sure, but I was so proud of the way the cricket field at Heavenly Farms looks. It's beautiful. It really is. So I got the courage up and I said, you know what? I'm going to go over. So I walked over to the guys and I said, hey, gentlemen, how are you? Nice to meet you, blah, blah, blah. And I said, are you guys familiar with East Brunswick? And he said, yeah, we are. And I said, they opened up a brand new, beautiful cricket field. And those guys said, and they were all very well aware of it. And one of the guys said he's been there, but it's hard to get on and hard to play because a lot of teams are already, booking it. But they already knew about it. The word is spread on how great the field is.
Well, I think that's one of the reasons. The other one is because we have a lit field and a lot of them aren't.
Right.
Which means that we could extend it longer.
Yeah.
We charge more for that. And but the point is that it's not even a year and it's basically fully booked. That's
great. It was smart to put it in. Yeah. It really was. But I felt so proud walking up to those guys. And I'm like, I'm a part of East Brunswick. I know exactly what's going on.
We know about that one.
And I know all about it. I felt so proud. Also, this was very interesting. I definitely want to get into this. What you realized at Farrington Lake here in East Brunswick, that the water levels are so low, you said you didn't even realize there was a beach there.
Well, I mean,
it's not supposed to be.
It's not supposed to be there. Normally when you're there, people are out there fishing all the time or just even walking around the park, and you walk down towards the water edge and that's it. It's right there.
Yeah.
But I was shocked that I was able to walk out that far and be able to picture all the way around the lake.
Yeah.
part of the water level is so low, it literally looks like it's always been a beach, which
Right.
it clearly never was.
Yeah, no, the pictures that you posted, I was surprised on how wide the beach area was. It wasn't like a little strip. It
No.
was a very large area. So I understood what you were saying. Like, you didn't even know that there was ever a beach there because it was always covered. And then behind, like you said, the picture that you took showed an enormous piece of property that is now being exposed because of the low water levels.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. But I think that it's, not just in East Brunswick, it's the whole area. And it is an issue for us right now. We just have not had enough rain. And hopefully that'll change. I think the forecast calls for some rain this week. So
Yeah, we're supposed to get. Well, today's Tuesday. We always podcast on Tuesdays, and they do say tonight into tomorrow, Thursday will be a rainy day. That's what the weather forecasters are saying. But
it's going to take a while for that to come back to a normal level. But it is a little spooky to see that. I'm just not used to seeing that.
No, you're right, and it's great to see that you are a man around and you're doing your own investigations. You're seeing your own stuff here in East Brunswick, and it's great that you're very observant to what's happening here.
That's all the closest park, and I love the fact that we have so many parks in town. I did a whole thing a couple months ago on the parks that we have here, and part of it is done to I enjoy that, but I want to underscore that when people all comment about things that are going out on our main commercial corridors and they concentrate on that, it's almost like judging the state of New Jersey if you just drove on the turnpike.
I get you.
There's some beautiful parts of this state.
Speaking of parks, I'm sorry. I don't mean
and there's beautiful parts of East Brunswick. I stopped talking about Route 18. We get it already.
Yeah. We've got it. Speaking of parks, I had a chance to go over to Lenape Park, or I don't know if I'm pronouncing it correct. I've heard two ways of saying it, but I'm gonna go with Lenape Park. And I was over there where they're actually redoing the whole entire park. So I was there for the I guess the construction of them, taking it down, taking it apart. And then I spoke with John Roush. I had him over there, and he was walking me through exactly what the park is going to look like and what's going in there. Do you want to talk about? It's beautiful. It's going to be great.
It's a part of town. Again, sometimes a lot of people don't even know that that's part of East Brunswick.
Yeah, on
it's
River
on
Road
the other
over there.
side of River Road.
Right.
People think it's South River or another
Yeah, it's
town.
right on the border of South River.
But it's East Brunswick.
It's East Brunswick,
and
right.
it's a very large area with a lot of people that live there. And so Lenape Park is one that people that live in that community know and utilize, but it's in desperate need of work.
Right.
The tennis courts are being redone.
Yeah, I can't believe it.
We'll probably also stripe it so it could also be used for pickleball as well.
Smart.
Basketball courts are going to be redone, and then the entire children's area that's the area that we got state funding to do a neurodevelopmental, neurodivergent community. That's a park that can be used both by kids that aren't in the community and those that are. So it's really open to everybody.
Yeah.
So it'll be enclosed. It's $1 million that's being invested in that park.
Wow.
And the town had to come up with $250. The state gave the $750. And that's how, but we would have had to put money into fixing the park anyway.
Right.
So this way, at least it serves everybody in the community. And we've always had a long commitment to people in any part of that neurodivergent community. Our schools, our programming in town, our parks and recreation programs, our volunteer programs, Fast Break, the Buddy Bowl, all of these have been in our town, Daisy program for 50 years.
Right. No.
So saying that we're committed to those that, that don't have those same opportunities is not new for this town.
It looks beautiful. He showed me the renderings of what it's all going to look
be
like.
Beautiful.
It really is. And there's an awful big space there. I had no idea. What was there right now before they start taking it apart. You didn't realize how much space there really is. It's going to be a very large park to super serve the masses that are there.
Yeah, in that area. But anybody in town,
of course,
can utilize it. We legally can't even stop people coming in from the park that don't live here. But it'll be primarily used by traditionally, but in that community. And I think by having the neurodevelopmental park that's open to everybody, it may bring people from other parts of town that don't necessarily have that in their parks.
Well, I really wonder how many towns even do have that. I don't even know.
Not
if South
many.
River, right? And South River is very close, so if they can use it, they're right there.
Yeah, I think that it's going to be something that more and more towns will start to do. Those
Of course.
communities are demanding it, and you don't want to have separate parks for people. They're part of our community. They should all be playing together.
I agree. Hey, listen, on a much lighter note, over the weekend, now back at the office, we've been talking about all the different shows on Netflix and things. So I really want to know, like, what are you watching right now on Netflix?
I just got finished watching Wednesday. That's the time of year to watch that.
I have it written down. So the second season came out.
Second season,
So
yes.
did you finish the second season?
Yes.
What'd you think of it?
It took a little while. I thought there were a bunch of different plots that were occurring that wasn't as organized, but they brought it all together in the end.
Yeah.
So it was good.
See, I kind of figured that the first season, I really got into it. At first, I sat on the couch next to my daughter, and I'm like, "What are you watching?" You know, and I started watching, and I got hooked. And listen, it's not for me, at least I think it's more for her, but still, it's easy to get hooked into it. It's a good storyline. I liked it. And so the second season, I haven't finished it just quite.
Did you watch The Addams Family when you were younger?
Of course I did.
Of
course, I watched a lot of it. But so the second season for me, I haven't fell in love with it. I'm waiting for it, but like you said, it's going to come together in the end.
Oh, you didn't finish it yet?
No, I didn't finish it. My daughter did. I didn't finish it.
You have to finish it.
Okay. She says it's really great.
It is.
So, okay, it's going to sum up. All right.
No.
Now, what I've been watching is Amy Bradley is Missing. Have you seen that?
No.
Oh, do you like to go on cruises?
Yeah.
Don't watch Amy Bradley's Missing that. Oh my God. So I got hooked because your assistant Tracy, she got to talk to me about it, and it is unbelievable. Family goes on a cruise, the daughter goes missing, and now you got to figure out at the end whether or not she's still alive or not. I happen to think she's still alive, so I'm recommending to you to watch Amy Bradley is Missing. Very, very good.
I'll watch that one.
And also Unknown Number, the high school catfish. Have you seen that one?
No.
That one is another.
That's a Netflix one?
It's on Netflix as well. Yeah, that one's really, really good. It's a social media thing. This one daughter, she's on social media. She's being harassed, which we don't condone. And when they find out, when they reveal who's doing it, you're almost floored. Like you almost cannot believe it.
I like being surprised.
You're another.
Yeah. We started watching Doc.
Oh, that's got a lot of in Emmys. They loved in Doc.
Yeah.
Doc's a great show.
About the woman that has a
How do you
car
like it?
accident and
Yeah.
loses 8 years. I liked it in the beginning, and it started, and in my opinion, and again, my wife loves these shows, and
Right.
but it seemed to be like the same storyline each time. The person has a medical. She clearly lost her memory,
Right.
and is desperately looking to get back into medicine, which she is. Loves and used to be almost like House.
Yeah,
Like she has
House
the answer.
was great. I loved House.
But even that got boring to me after a while because
Yeah.
the storyline was always the same. Hard problem to solve, and House comes to the answer.
Right.
And it's like, come up with something different. And that's what this is. Each episode now is another medical dilemma, and even though she's working with half the capacity she used to, she's going to solve all the problems.
Right.
Enough already. I got that line. So I come up with something different.
So do you like doctor TV series, hospital TV series, Grey's Anatomy?
So, I used to like Grey's, but even that got boring after a while.
Right,
when what was the one with the blonde hair? She
Grey?
No, not Grey.
No.
The Catherine Hagel.
Oh, okay, yes, right.
Like when she brought in a deer and saved a deer's life. Okay,
Yes.
I'm done with this show.
Okay.
That's not happening. I watched Pitt on the airline, plane.
That's getting a lot of reviews, and people love it.
Yes, I liked it too, and a lot of it is realistic. But nobody's going to see all of those things in one hospital show.
Right.
Like if you see one of those bizarre events in a career, that's probably,
All right, so but if you have to choose Pitt
I mean,
or
I see
Doc.
the woman being delivered by the ER doctor while the head stuck would have to do this maneuver that we learn as residents in order to help prevent a shoulder dystocia, and the attending OBGYN is going to watch the ER doctor do that. There's no way in God's earth would happen. She'd have moved that guy aside,
Right.
and she'd have done it herself.
That is so cool to know that you know exactly what would happen. I would love to watch a doctor, a medical show with you to see you right there and then be like, that's not going to happen. I would love to see you at how you're in your own environment, like what would be true, what's not true.
It was great to see what they did, but the ER doctors are in a major hospital.
Right.
They have within moments' notice people that they can call on to do some of these bizarre things that they're doing in the ER.
Right.
And if it's so rare that one of those people wouldn't be around that you actually had to do it, maybe once in your lifetime.
Gotcha.
Not every single shift.
That's a very good point. I don't think about that. You're right. See, I'm the regular guy watching the shows. You're hands-on. You know these things. Well, listen, it was good. It's good to just to wrap a little bit about what's going on TV right now, rather than always talking about everything that's going on here in East Brunswick. But we do have to get to more about what's going on with East Brunswick, and hence why it's the buzz about East Brunswick. Yes. We're going to take a short break right now to show you a little bit more about what's in and around town. And when we get back,
we'll get back to talking about East.
We will. We'll get back to talking about East Brunswick. We've got some emails to get to. So it's all coming up next right here on the Buzz About East Brunswick. We'll be right back. Hey, East Brunswick, this is a friendly reminder from the East Brunswick Public Works Recycling Division about curbside recycling. No plastic bags, please. Please empty recyclables directly into the bin. Please recycle all of your cans, glass, plastics, paper, cardboard, and newspaper. Do not recycle greasy food containers, shredded paper, batteries, cords, pots, pans, or small appliances curbside. Those belong in the garbage or proper drop-off. Let's keep East Brunswick clean and green. For more info, please call 732-390-6984 or visit eastbrunswick.org. I'm on the job again today. We are paving in Kingswood Station. Vinny Shuto, the engineering inspector, he's going to take me around. Let's go paving.
We checked the temperature. You can see that it's over 200 degrees. Comes out of the truck at around 325. And it's laid down at probably about 275. And we don't let traffic get on it until under 165. One side paved, one side milled. Then they're going to use a tack truck where it lays down the asphalt in a liquid form. Paving will come right behind it.
East Brunswick is paving some of the streets in your neighborhood. I'm on Old Stage Road and Francis. All right, guys, we are back again. This is episode 17. I'm Greg T. That's Mayor Cohen, and we're about to jump into it. We started a new segment out on the street, and it's been called Ask the Mayor Anything. And it's fun. Matter of fact, we're going to go out at the end of the week, and we're going to do a whole nother batch of Ask the Mayor Anything, where we stop random residents of East Brunswick, and we say, hey, listen, do you have a question for the mayor? And there's so many questions that people have, and if we don't stop you, if you don't see us out and about, you can always drop us an email at baeb@buzzabouteb.com, and we'll be happy to read those emails aloud, which is what we're going to do right now. So we're shifting some gears here, and we're going to head on over and talk to the mayor about these emails that we got. So you ready to go?
Good.
Ask the mayor anything. Okay. Mr.
I like
Mayor.
the music.
You like the music?
Yes, I did.
All right, so here we go. Mr. Mayor, this question is, are we petitioning New Jersey Transit to increase bus access for all these new apartments that we're building? They want to know, how are we getting people from East Brunswick to New York City and from East Brunswick to New Brunswick? They're saying that our public transportation is lacking, Mr. Mayor.
Oh, okay. Well, look, it's interesting that people are asking that question, because one of the fears that I hear on the complete opposite side is that, we're just turning this into a city, which is totally not true.
Right.
And now they're asking for more public transportation, which is usually something that you see in a city.
Right.
But the reality is that the builders and the developers who are coming in have been working at trying to help provide a shuttle system that would help get people in their units to the major transportation systems, whether that be the bus system in East Brunswick, which we have 2 different decks, or the train station in New Brunswick. And interestingly enough, if you look at the Ray, which is the project that was built where the old Sears used to be in New Brunswick.
Right off of Route 1.
And some of the projects that have started filling here, which is Legacy, a lot of the people that are coming don't necessarily commute to New York.
Huh. Interesting.
So a lot of them have Jersey license plates. They're commuting to places in Jersey. A lot of them work in New Brunswick for healthcare facilities, or we have a huge biotechnology and pharmaceutical life science corridor that's developed along Route 1. And a lot of those people aren't looking for transportation to a transportation center. They're not necessarily working in New York City.
Gotcha.
Which is what we thought would initially happen when a lot of these things were built. So the demand as much for getting to a transportation center is not as great as it used to be.
Okay.
So when that demand is there, we will be looking to do that.
Right.
New Jersey Transit will be contacted to try to increase the number of stops.
That's great.
And not only for commuting, but to help people get up and down the corridor without necessarily using a car.
Okay, gotcha.
With the work that's on Route 18, a lot of those bus lanes or bus stops are going to be developed where they don't just stop on the highway, which is presently what happens.
Right.
So we often end up with a lot of backup, even before all the construction on Route 18, where the bus would just stop.
That's
It's a
right.
2-lane highway, and they just stopped in one lane.
Yep.
So everything would back up behind it. With the construction project as it's slated to be done, those buses would be pulled over.
That's great.
So it doesn't really slow traffic down.
Right, that's great.
And yes, we will be looking for bus stops with New Jersey Transit, and we're going to look to increase our ridership for the coach buses in the decks that we already operate.
That's great.
I know for a fact that a lot of businesses in New York City are looking for people to come back now, not 3 days a week.
No,
four.
right.
Some of them 4. They want 5. So our decks are clearly
Getting full.
They could be more full. It's not nearly back to what it was prior to COVID, and so we would be welcoming those riders coming back because our decks had suffered all those years that COVID caused people to not be using them.
Sure.
So the short answer to the question is we do want to get some bus stops, New Jersey Transit, and like I said, increasing the use of our coach bus at the decks that we already operate. But the interesting finding was that a lot of people in these new apartments were not necessarily commuters who are looking to go into Jersey City or New York.
Right. So, here's an example. So, prior to moving to Marlboro, my wife and I, we lived in Bayonne. And
You lived in Bayonne,
We
too?
lived in Bayonne,
So did
yeah.
I.
Did you really?
Yes.
There's
when I
always
was in
something
medical
here.
school, my wife's from Bayonne. So when we got married in the middle of medical school, we had no money coming in.
Right.
So my father-in-law converted the basement apartment for the two of us. So
all right.
Yes.
So we lived in a community which was brand new. They built this like a townhouse development on the water in Bayonne. And everybody there at the time was commuting back into either
Right by
Jersey
440,
City.
right?
That's correct. Yeah, that's right. Right.
I remember when that went up.
That's right. Yeah, right there. So that's where we lived we lived there for a good 4 years, and there was because a lot of commuters were going either into Jersey City or into Manhattan, and you had to get to this central hub called the light rail, and then the light rail would take you in and around Jersey City and whatnot into the Hoboken area to get another PATH train. So they did use a shuttle service. So you would have to walk out to whatever the main highway was. It was close by. It wasn't. It was less than a half a mile away, and then they ran a little tiny shuttle service back and forth. But again, it was needed. People were because you were situated right there by the bridge there. You had to get out somehow. So that was brought in. But I understand what you're saying. That right now, there's no need for it, but it could be something that will be visited.
It was an interesting finding because a couple years ago, the vast majority of people that were moving in were commuters.
Right.
And New York, Jersey City.
Right.
all of that were their destinations. And a lot of these new apartment complexes, if you look at the license plates of people that are in there, everyone said, oh, everybody from New York is going to come in during COVID.
Right.
Hardly any New York license, all New Jersey. And a lot of them are working in our, like I said, that
Right, the
business
immediate
corridor,
surrounding,
and in New Brunswick. So they were going to do one at Legacy and bring them across Route 18 to the parking decks right by Walmart.
Oh, right.
And then Russo was going to build it for the Legacy, Vermella project that we're doing here, and the Ray, which he owns in New Brunswick by the Sears. And so far, there hasn't been this huge demand for it as he thought there would be.
But I like that you're not ruling it out, and then if there is a demand, it's not a problem. We can fix it, and we'll make it happen.
I actually think that we really need it. Besides getting into New Brunswick is a bear, right? It's not easy to get into Brunswick. Parking is difficult. Traffic in New Brunswick is difficult. And the county and the recognize that. And so in the building of the Helix, which is a massive project that's going to bring a lot of people in, one of the things the county has spoken to us about is renting out some of our parking spaces in our decks and commuting people into New Brunswick, because I think, frankly, that's the bigger issue than worrying about the New York traffic. It's getting into New Brunswick.
Surprisingly, I did something for East Brunswick, showing people how fast the commute is if you do take the bus, and it really is 40 minutes door to door from the moment you leave East Brunswick to the moment you get into New York City. It's 40 minutes. That's not a bad ride at all.
If they are going to now force people to come back in 4 or 5 days a week now, I do believe the decks offer a great ability to get in and out of the city pretty quickly.
Yep. All right. Moving right along.
I think we killed that question.
You did a great job on that one. Mr. Mayor, this emailer says to us, Mayor Cohen, what can we do about a steak restaurant in town, such as a Texas Roadhouse, a Longhorn Steakhouse, or an Outback? He says, I can only eat so much chicken. I can't keep eating chicken. So, Mr. Mayor, what are we doing about a steakhouse?
First of all, I could think of higher end steak restaurants than those. And we would like to get some everyone keeps saying, try to get in some non-chain, non-franchise restaurants. So those are fine.
Right.
I think we could do better.
Sure, I understand what you're saying.
But
it's not that you're closed off to it.
Oh, totally not.
Right.
I think it would be something that would do well here. As we start to see people moving into some of these units and some of the retail space that will be available there, I think that we'll be in a good place to find some restaurateur to come in and do that. One of the things that we're doing on the Vermella site.
Yeah, well, it's actually the very last sentence of the email says it would be nice to have it on the old Loman site.
Right. So on that site, what we're looking to do is for the township to take ownership of a piece of property that's right on 18.
Okay.
Right now, we presently own the area where the old David's Bridals used to be.
Yeah. I know exactly.
We're going to look to flip with the owner of the property, Russo, and take the land that's nearest the traffic circle where the entrance to Loman's used to be.
Right.
That site, the town is looking to build 2 8,000 square foot restaurants.
Wow, that's
and
great.
It will overlook the park that's behind it.
Wait, this is breaking news, fellas. You're getting it right here on the Buzz About East Brunswick. This is great.
If the township owns the property, then it allows us the ability to get concessionaires' liquor licenses for virtually nothing.
That's terrific.
So that if the town owns it and then can bring in a restaurateur, someone that's preferably not a chain, people have asked about that. I think there's room for a steak or something like that higher end type of restaurant that would have the park overview.
Sure.
And I think it would do well there. Most restaurants, as we all know, make their money on liquor.
Of course they do.
So if we could provide that in the rent, that makes it easier for them than trying to get a liquor license, which we don't even have any to sell.
Right.
So that, I think, would work well. As far as township provides the zoning laws that allow different, all of the type of commercial properties to come in, and we can't tell somebody that the 10th chicken restaurant can't come into town.
Right,
If
right,
they
right.
really believe that their market research says that they're going to survive, or that they're so much better than the 9 other chicken restaurants
Right.
that are there, if our zoning allows for that, we're not in a position as a town to tell them that they can't do that.
No, Mr. Mayor, no more chicken. No more chicken.
Right.
We're going to be the only town. We have now said no
Yes,
to chicken.
we've cornered the market on chicken, but that
No
means
more
that
chicken.
the other chicken restaurants that are there
Right.
are either going to have to beef up their game. You like that? Beef up
Yeah,
their game?
no pun. No pun. Right, no pun intended.
And compete, or they're not going to survive. But the town
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
isn't going to be in the position of determining who survives.
No.
The market does that.
Gotcha.
And now, if a person owns a strip mall and doesn't want to have 3 chicken restaurants, he or she, as the owner, might not want to have several of the same.
But as the mayor, you can't step
control
in,
that.
right? You have
no
no control over
different
that.
than another. There was a time when everyone said, "Oh, another bank."
Right.
If his zoning allows for a bank, we're not going to control how many are there. The market controls.
So okay, so if I'm an owner of a chain restaurant and I'm looking for space and I want to put something in East Brunswick, if it's zoned for it, I can do that. The mayor does not have that ability to be like, no, you can't be here.
No, we have an economic development officer who works for the town, and one of his objectives is to try to go out and find some of these businesses
To bring them
to
in.
bring them in. But unless they're working in a township-owned building, we
Right.
can't hire them. We
Gotcha.
could put them in front of the face of the owner of the building, and hopefully they'll come to some kind of terms. If you're a business that's in a strip mall and you're
Yeah.
already, I don't know, coffee or
Oh, right. How many
donuts.
coffee places can you
Well,
have?
I
Right.
may, as a person renting in my lease, I might want, in order to preserve the ability for me to make money, say that I'll sign a lease with you as long as you don't allow another coffee shop
Right.
in this plaza,
Yep.
or another donut shop.
I know a couple of I know an owner who's in a strip mall right now, and he owns a pizza place. And the same exact thing is that he has it in the contract that the owner of the strip mall won't put another pizza place,
Which makes
right
sense,
in.
and the
Right,
owner
exactly.
probably
Yeah.
doesn't want that
No, you
either,
don't.
because
No.
you want your tenants to make
Right.
money. You don't want them to go out of business. That's the last thing they want.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't have that control.
Correct.
We could try to find some businesses that people would like and put them in front of the face of the people
Right.
that own the property and the space.
Yeah.
But we can't control it. And if 2 chicken restaurants are allowed to operate next to one another, may they both win.
Right, may they both win. But you're right. You wouldn't want to put your own. If I'm a chicken guy, I don't want to have my chicken restaurant right up against your chicken restaurant. You need to spread the community out, spread the residents, so that other people are going to go to different places to go try your
Right.
chicken.
We had the same thing a couple
Right.
years ago when there was all these hamburger places
That's right.
that were opening up
Right.
on 18.
How many hamburger places are
Right.
we going to have
But
here?
what ended up happening was some survived,
Yeah.
some didn't. That's the market. The township is not in the business of controlling the market.
Right.
We control the conditions and
Sure.
we can set the zoning laws,
Right.
but after that,
Yep.
the market.
Gotcha. All right, Mr. Mayor, nice job. All right, now that is a segment that, again, we call Ask the Mayor Anything. So get your emails in, again, at baeb@buzzabouteb.com, or maybe you'll see me on the street, and we'll be stopping you there, and you can ask the mayor some questions as well. Nice job. Good job. Yeah, good
There you
job.
go, fist bump. I
All
like
right.
that.
This is another look inside and around East Brunswick. We'll be right back with more. We're going to talk a little bit about the Mayor's Gala, which is coming up.
Yes.
It's all coming up next right here on the Buzz About East Brunswick podcast. I've got Levon right here, a resident of East Brunswick, New Jersey. Levon, go ahead.
I would like to know, when will Route 18 be fixed?
When will Route 18 be fixed? The big question everybody wants to know.
Well, Levon, I think that's a great question. A lot of people are asking that. Have to tell you, when I first took office and all of the Route 18 work was being done in New Brunswick and Old Bridge, everybody in East Brunswick was wanting to know when the mayor was going to get the town on the docket so that the state could come out and take care of Route 18 in East Brunswick. So they're here now. And now the number one question is, when are they going to be done, because of the clear issue it has with making some of our roads almost impossible to navigate. The work is complicated. There's a lot of parts to that project along the entire length of the 4 miles that traverse East Brunswick. But according to the Department of Transportation, this is a state project, it looks like they're going to be finished sometime around 2027. That's completely dependent on weather. It's completely dependent on a lot of things to do with areas underground that they might not know or discover problems that they didn't know about ahead of time. But right now they're a little bit ahead of schedule, so we're keeping our fingers crossed. But the work is clearly a massive project and includes water lines that are the township lines. If we don't do that now, it's an $18 million project. Doing it now, the state's giving us half the money towards that project. If we wait to do it later, we have the full freight and all the repair work to Route 18. But that water line alone added another year to the project. So right now we're looking at 2027.
All right, we are just rolling right along here on episode 17 of the Buzz About East Brunswick. I'm Greg T, Mayor Cohen, and now we dive on into it. It's something called the Mayor's Gala, and we're going to learn a little bit more about it. If you're unfamiliar, well, the mayor obviously will tell you a little bit more about what's going on with the Mayor's Gala. Mr. Mayor, please tell me about the Mayor's Gala. Now, it does support the Mayor's Charity Fund,
Yes.
and which obviously serves nonprofits, community grants, individual grants, and scholarships. It'll be on December the 9th at the Park Chateau. The Park Chateau it'll be at.
Are you going to join us?
I will be there. I will be at the Park Chateau. You got me there. I will be there December the 9th with my suit on. I'll be looking very
Dapper.
I'll be looking dapper.
Yes.
So tell me more about the Mayor's Gala and how long it's been going on and just everything about it.
So well, first of all, it supports the Mayor's Charity Fund. Mayor's Charity Fund started in 2018, a year after I was in office.
Okay.
And the whole point of that was that we recognized that there's a lot of people in town that might not necessarily have the funds to do things that whether it's school sports or participating in activities that they or someone had a fire and they're down and out for a short period of time.
Right.
Somebody's parent got sick and they're not working. People have stuff that happens to them.
Sure they do.
And we wanted to be able to have a fund available in and for East Brunswick residents who fall into those type of situations.
That's great.
And not need to worry that the whole world is going to know who they are. So we put the charity together. It was something that while I started it, we have a board that represents the charity. And as applications come in for whatever needs there are, they field all of those. They've put together a process that allows expediting funds to the people that need it the most. And I'm not on that.
Sure.
So I don't want people thinking, oh, if I write the mayor and he's going to give money out of his charity.
It's not.
It's not.
Right.
I didn't want anybody to think that I was making those decisions.
Fair.
And the gala is one of the largest fundraising events for that charity.
That's great.
It's always held at the Park Chateau.
The Park Chateau. Yes.
And who, by the way, are one of the honorees this year. We always honor a male and female volunteer in town.
Okay, great.
A business and a nonprofit.
Okay, terrific.
So in the past, we've honored our firefighters, John Cossack, our head of OEM, Jane Mueller, East Brunswick Chinese, East Brunswick, Brunswick Memorial. So there are individuals who have contributed back to the town, either themselves or through their organizations or businesses.
That's very nice.
And then but for this year, we've got 4 great recipients. For the female volunteer, Holly Cerami, who is, I don't even know what committee she's not on.
Right.
Dave Lonsky, has a lifetime of contributions to our community. The Park Chateau, like I said.
Park Chateau, yes, of course.
And well, they've been very, very supportive of a lot of organizations in town by basically just covering the cost for a lot of these events and allowing.
That's really nice.
And volunteer and contribute back to a lot of our charities. And we're also going to be honoring Aldersgate community outreach
Oh,
center.
terrific.
Their food bank, and they've been doing that also for years before people even knew what food insecurity was. That term wasn't even used, but they've defined it, and so these are all great organizations that are helping people in need, which is essentially what the charity's about.
Right, that's what it's all there for.
Exactly.
Right. That's great.
So, I can't tell you people who they've helped because, again, I'm not on that.
Which I understand why. I get how you don't get in the middle of it. You know, you are the acting power figurehead.
They could use the name, and if
Of
that
course.
helps bring funds in, that's great.
That's what it's there for.
I'm honored to be able to help do that.
Listen, this was all your idea. It's a great idea. It's a great fund, and it's there for people.
And we always hear about the affluence of our community, but there's some people that are struggling,
Sure.
and we want to help everybody. If
Sure
there's
there
a
is.
kid that wants to be open up a hockey rink, and if there's a kid that wants to play,
Right.
and that's very expensive equipment.
Oh, I know. I played hockey as a kid. It is a very expensive sport.
And then apply to the charity fund if you're legitimately asking for help. We don't want that kid
Right.
not to participate, and the world doesn't need to know who he is.
That's great.
Or
It's great.
she.
It's really nice that you're doing that. I think it's great. I think it's fantastic. So again, it's December the 9th
Yes.
at the Park Chateau, and I look forward to being there.
Yeah, hopefully you're going to put up the website and the
One more time,
Facebook
yes.
page.
You can go to Mayor Cohen's charityfund.com, Mayor Cohen's charityfund.com, and yes, you'll be able to see that and go to the website and find out more information about the Mayor's Gala and how you could be there that night as well.
Yeah, and sometimes they'll even get some of the musicians from the school. We've had the orchestra playing.
Oh, really?
For the crowds.
Oh, that's very nice.
I
An
think
elegant night at the Park Chateau.
It really is.
Yes.
Plus, there's an incredible amount of talent here in town, and it's kind of nice to have an opportunity to put that a little bit on display and dress up a little bit. Look,
Great.
put your finest.
Right, you got a night out of the town. I think it's great, and the Park Chateau is gorgeous. I mean, absolutely beautiful place to be.
Yes.
So it's a terrific place to have the Mayor's Gala at.
So there
That's
you
great.
go.
All right, there you go. So there you go, guys. You're hearing about it all first right here at the Mayor's Gala. Again, December the 9th. Go to the Mayor Cohen's charityfund.com and find out more information and on how you could be there this coming December the 9th. All right, another look inside and around East Brunswick, and when we get back, the mayor and I will tell you where you can find both of us out and about in town for another episode of the Buzz About East Brunswick. We'll be right back with more. Hey, it's me, Greg T, Mr. EB, at a brand new park in East Brunswick. Country Lane has been improved. This is awesome.
We do like the uniqueness and the variety of the different things that the park has to offer versus some of the other East Brunswick parks. So the kids love it. We're excited to have the new variety.
You can picnic here, you can play basketball, and you can play some tennis.
My little guy said he wants to come to this park every day.
I wish I had this as a kid. Country Lane Park. There's a lot going on in East Brunswick. Hey everybody, here's what's happening at the East Brunswick Ice Arena. This video will show the refrigerated concrete slab pour for rink number 2. The under-slab heating and refrigeration systems were installed by Ice Builders Incorporated. The concrete pour and finishing were done by Tri-State Construction, and each rink takes 250 cubic yards of concrete. That's 25 trucks per rink. The concrete is poured into a hopper outside, pumped inside, leveled with a laser-controlled screed, and finished with ride-on trowel machines for a perfectly smooth surface. Rink number 1 was poured just the day before, and now rink number 2 is complete. This 5-inch thick slab will cure over the next 28 days until it reaches its full strength of 4,500 psi. East Brunswick, it's ready to make that ice. Wow, it's exciting progress for this community. Hey East Brunswick, this is a branch collection notification. If you are in need of curbside collection of branches, here's what you need to do. Call the Office of Recycling at 732-390-6984 to be placed on the collection list. You need to do this by Friday. Your bundles of branches must not be longer than 4 feet long and weigh more than 50 pounds. Also, your branches do not go into biodegradable bags or containers. And if you are an East Brunswick resident, you may also drop off your unbundled branches at the recycling center Monday through Saturday, 7:30 a.m. till 3:30 p.m. This has been your branch collection notification. Now back to your regular scheduled programming. All right, guys, just getting ready to wrap things up here for episode 17. Man, just like you said, I can't believe we got through it. 16 episodes. This is episode 17, and not bad. We're cooking here.
We're on a roll.
We're on a roll. We really are. So next week we are taking off the mayor's schedule, and mine. We have a couple of conflicts, so we just can't be here. But we are going to be somewhere special, September the 30th, when we return to do the next episode, episode 18. We're going to be at the East Brunswick Museum.
Right.
Now, a lot of people are not familiar with exactly where that museum is. It's in, would you call it the historic area of East Brunswick?
Well, it's actually on the National Registry. That whole area is a nationally recognized historic district.
Oh, it is a historic district.
It absolutely
really,
is.
really nice. So it's, now if you're, like, how would we explain exactly whereabouts?
It's on the corner of Main Street and Old Bridge Turnpike.
Old Bridge Turnpike,
So
right.
in that area where the old library used to be.
Yep.
So the museum is right in that section.
Yeah.
And they got some really nice exhibits and things that really chronicle the history of East Brunswick all the way back, in some instances, to the Civil War.
Yeah, listen, I've been fascinated. So we are going to have a guest on with us, Mark Nonestad.
Yes.
And he wrote this really great book, East Brunswick Through the Years. And I've done my due diligence. It's been a long time since I read a book.
I wouldn't admit that.
I have gone through the book, and it's a very easy read, but it is really interesting, some of the areas and, what went on here in East Brunswick in the early 1900s, how East Brunswick became to what it is today. So there'll be need to pick his brain, but it's also a good book. It's not that bad to enrich yourself in what went on here in East Brunswick and, how we are, especially down in that area. I didn't realize there was such a huge shipping department in East Brunswick down there, where everything came off the railroad and the South River.
The railroad is actually still there,
right?
And the tributaries of the Raritan River used to extend out there, and there was a dock pretty much where that little bridge, they call it Old Bridge. That's where they get that from. And that was an area that was a dock.
Yeah, so I didn't know that. Again, it taught me something. It's in the book there, and I had no idea. I didn't give it much thought about.
Well, Mark's is sort of like an encyclopedia of Middlesex. He's actually the Middlesex County historian.
Oh, that's great.
And lives here. Probably more a Wikipedia, because kids today wouldn't know what an encyclopedia is.
Right? They don't know.
Of not only East Brunswick history, but the county in general. And then he had Ethan, young
Ethan Reese.
Ethan Reese, a young kid that lives here in town. He's grown up already.
Yeah.
Who's also taken a passion to learning about the East Brunswick history. So they helped put this newest edition together, and you can get it in many of the local bookstores.
Yeah, again, check it out. It really is. It's if you're interested in more about what's going on or how East Brunswick became to be East Brunswick, then pick up the book and check it out. It really is great. I was fascinated to see the early photos of the mall.
Yes.
I was just showing you some of the pictures. Bamberger's was here. How the mall has changed through the years.
Probably half the people who live here wouldn't even know what Bamberger's was. right?
We're showing our age. I'm sorry, Mr. Mayor. I apologize.
Hamburgers and some of the bodies of water here in
Yeah.
town that people would fish in, that were beaches, and now people don't even know where they are. But there's a lot of changes that have occurred over the years, and no different than many other towns.
Of
in
course,
New
everything
Jersey.
evolves.
But clearly the history's fascinating.
Yep, it really is.
So doing it from the museum is a great idea.
So so we're going to do a little walkthrough and figure it all out. But yeah, we will be there September the 30th at the East Brunswick Museum. I'm really excited too. There's a lot of artifacts that are in there from the early days of East Brunswick. It's going to be really neat to pick his brain and to see some of the things that the East Brunswick Museum still has there. It's going to be great.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to it. That'll be on September the 30th. Again, next week, no episode. September 30th, we will meet back here for episode 18. So on that note, Mr. Mayor, your favorite theme song? Nice job.
Good job.
Good job. We will see you guys here next week for episode 18. And again, get your emails in at baeb@buzzabouteb.com. To everybody on YouTube, thank you guys very much for watching us on EBTV 26, Spotify, iHeart, Apple Music, and Amazon. All of you guys, thank you guys so much.
See you next time.
See you next time.